So a couple of days ago we had some serious rain. This is the forecast and we pretty much got all of that. All of that in 2 days. That's about a month and a half worth. And if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you'll know that most of my succulents grow outside. So in this video, I want to show you how they fared with this heavy rain and just pretty much constant moisture for 2 days. I want to show you about 100 to 200 cultivars in this video, and I'll point out some problems that have arisen as a result of this rain and show you what I'm concerned about. But I'm also making this video because I get a lot of pushback on a lot of my videos about bordering succulents and how to care for succulents outdoors. Some people have even accused me of lying and providing bad advice. So I just want to show you where I'm coming from when I talk about these things in my videos. And I also understand that people will have different experiences with succulents, mainly due to the fact that we all live in different climates. So I am not discounting anyone's experience. I know it is it is very possible for succulents to die in the rain, but I also want to show you that I am not lying to anyone when I say that my succulents are happily growing outdoors all year round, rain, hail or shine, although I do have shade cloth over all of these guys to prevent them from getting damaged by the hail. So let's start with this tray. I'm only going to show you the succulents that I grow for the markets, because the ones that I grow for my wholesale customers have a lot of names and addresses and phone numbers, and I don't really want to get that on the internet. So it's only going to be succulents that I grow for the markets, which is maybe about 3,000-4,000 plants in total. It's definitely the smaller part of my business, but it's still quite a lot of plants. So let's go. Now let's start with these guys. I can see quite a bit of edema on this pink champagne. It's not looking too bad, but it has definitely not been very happy with the rain. These guys, they are fine. Also okay, bluebird. Now when we get a lot of rain like this, we also get an explosion in slugs and snails. This is the result. So I will have to have a look under the trays and under the pots under the table, see if I can find any and relocate them into a different part of the garden. Okay, so these guys all look good. Now these yellow ones, whether they're the sedum adolphi or, let me just show you this guy, I forget what the name is, but I always have problems with the yellow succulents. They do get either fungus like this, or they get edema, or they get eaten by aphids or mealybugs. They just, this is one of the last ones I'm growing, and I think I'm just going to retire it to the garden. I'm not actually going to sell it. Okay, let's go back to the tray here. So these guys are all looking quite nice. Some slug damage, so yeah, definitely quite a few of them here. Now let's have a look at these little ones here. Now Graptoviria opalina is not very happy in the rain. It always gets a mark, so this is edema. It's basically the leaves taking up too much water, the cells rupture and die because of that, and those dark marks, that is just that cells, and it will not go away. Okay, now these all good. There's no problems with these guys. Okay, so here we have a bit of a yellowing of the leaf. This is definitely due to the rain. Sometimes you will have succulents just drop leaves. They would have absorbed quite a bit of water, and this is the result. So I'm not really worried about this plant. I don't think it's going to die. It's just going to be a couple of leaves. So there's one here as well, but I don't think that this plant will rot. Okay, so these guys are also looking good. Little crassula, very pretty. Those guys all fine. Yeah, we've got little sedum here, or crassula. I don't really know, people keep saying different things with this plant, but in my experience, it really likes it rather likes the rain. Now the last one here is this variegated crassula. I've always had problems with this succulent. Unlike the conventional crassula ovata, this variegated version just always gets some kind of an issue after a lot of rain or humidity. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to keep growing this one either, maybe just for myself because it is really pretty, but it will have to go into the greenhouse where I can control the watering. Okay, let's have a look at some other plants. Right, let's have a look at some of these big ones. So this is Echeveria Violet Queen. It is absolutely huge. Look at that rosette. It's almost as big as my hand, and yeah, there's quite a few of them. So this plant did not mind the rain at all. I can't see any marks, nothing. Same with these guys over here. So this one's looking really nice, and it seems like it's just really grown since the rain. Also this beautiful thing here, look how huge it is. This guy here has been attacked by aphids. They do come out after the rain. They really like the humidity and the wet weather, so I will have to deal with this and spray, because they will spread to all of these other plants here and they will damage them as well. So yeah, not great. It's such a shame because this is absolutely huge. Now agave, I'm not really quite sure which is correct, but look how beautiful it is. In my experience, they don't mind being in the rain. Like, look at it, it's just so pretty. Okay, so here we have a Graptopetalum Purple Delight. They are looking really nice as well. No problems there. A lot of fallen leaves. They can be quite sensitive, but they are all growing quite well. Okay, so this is Echeveria Bloody Maria. As you can see, quite a lot of edema. It's always been like this. I've had quite a few of these plants, I've grown hundreds and hundreds of them, and they do not like the rain. They always get either a fungus or edema. They are also prone to rot. They don't really quite die, but they are always marked by something. So not my favorite cultivar. It looks absolutely stunning, but it needs to be in a greenhouse. Okay, so here we have another one that doesn't like a lot of the rain. So I kind of have mixed results with the Mexican giant. So here I've got one that's looking absolutely stunning, no trouble. And this one, look at that. It's not going to die. I've had this before. It's just some of the bottom leaves will get a little bit mushy and they will die. The whole plant is unlikely to die, but yeah, this is definitely because of the rain. It's not happy. It looks actually like a bit of fungus, so I'll see if I can give this a bit of fungicide. But yeah, I'm not really concerned. I don't think it's going to die. Now here are some other beautiful big plants. So this is Echeveria Orion. Absolutely no problems here. Looks beautiful. Echeveria elegans. I think I've shown this plant in quite a few videos, but it is just, look at it, so big and so pretty. All of these brown leaves that you can see, yellow brown, they are not because of the rain, they simply get like that when the cluster gets too tight, so the leaves push against each other, and sometimes some of them can just kind of die off, but it's only a few leaves, like as you can see. It's just a couple really. Otherwise it's looking amazing. Now look at this beautiful big Benimusume. There is a bit of edema. Agavoids, cultivars are quite prone to edema, but it is not too bad. Ideally it should probably be grown in a greenhouse, but it is what it is. I left it outside and kind of have to live with the fact that I ruined it a little bit, but it's not going to die and it still looks quite alright, so I'm not going to beat myself about it too much. It will just stay in my personal collection. I won't be selling this, but yeah, it still looks alright. And then I want to show you this cactus, because look how beautiful and big. So many babies. So this I've always had this outdoors in the rain. We've had much more rain than this in the last 4 years. Like we've had weeks and weeks of constant rain, and they are still okay. Yeah, so you can definitely have cacti outdoors, but you just need to have them in well-draining potting mix. Okay, here we have I think it's called Snow White Panda. It's Kalanchoe Areophila. Also quite happy. Even though the leaves have quite a bit of this felt-like material growing on top, it doesn't seem to attract any fungus or trap water badly enough that it would rot. So yeah, this has been quite resilient in the rain. Now I also want to show you my cacti. There's not very many different cultivars here, but they do grow outside all the time, so the whole year I don't put them inside. Thankfully the winter here is not too bad, so I can do that. But the point is that look, there's nothing rotting. They are all doing very, very well. Most of them are Rebutias. Got some Ilosteras here. This is Mammillaria, and yeah, they just, as I find that as long as they've got good potting mix, they will deal with the wet quite well. Yeah, I'm not really worried about them when it rains a lot. They do surprisingly well. So these Echinopsis, they quite like the rain as well. So yeah, they're doing quite fine. They are exposed to all day sun as well, so you can see it's been raining a lot, so over 200 mils in 2 days, and the potting mix is already starting to dry up. So if I dig deeper, it is still fairly wet, but it's not soggy, which is the most important thing. They can deal with wet potting mix, but not with soggy potting mix, if that makes sense. So this table I'm fixing up, repotting. There's a lot of plants here that need a bit of attention, and there have been some deaths here because of the rain. I can see this spot here, these guys are completely gone. It can happen very quick sometimes, and the plants will just die fast if they're not happy. But there's also a few plants here that I'm testing out. I buy new cultivars to test out, and then I decide whether or not I want to grow them further. And yeah, there's a few that are doing very well, but some not so much. So I had really high hopes for this Adromiscus, It's called seal pups and it's beautiful, but as you can see, that is not great. I would say it's a combination of fungus and edema, but it's not a very happy little Vegemite, this one. Here's a PVN. These guys don't really like the rain as much. I always get this when it rains, but oh no, hang on, it's purple pearl, sorry, beg your pardon. But yeah, they can sometimes die after quite a bit of rain. This is to be expected. I'm just going to take these out. I think that these leaves have just died. I don't think it's rot spreading to the plant. The stalk is looking pretty okay. I think it will be just fine after a few days. Okay, so here we've got some more seal pups that are dying, which is a bit sad. These guys are looking pretty good. We've got this bashful here. This guy just does not like rain. I am phasing this plant out. I've had quite a few, but every time it rains the leaves split like this. It's just not a great plant to grow unless you've got a greenhouse. They will do this. Now we've got this guy. Yep, so that would be rot of the roots. Just came out. This was fully rooted at some stage, but yeah, it can be saved. Doesn't look like the rot spreading to the stem or the leaves, so I'm just going to get this dried out and repot it. Now we've got baseball here. These guys don't like the rain either as much, but this one's not doing too badly. I've seen worse after such a deluge, so you can see that will not go away, but it's not too bad, this is a Mexican giant hybrid. I forget what it's called, but that is slugs and this fungus, edema, all of it combined. Okay, let's have a look through these. So Lolas are doing remarkably well. Okay, these guys, I knew these guys were not going to do very well. Yeah, that is all because of the rain. This Gary Halbin tree, all good. Violet Queen, they are a fantastic cultivar. They don't mind the rain at all. I've always liked to grow these. Now these guys were doing quite well. I was expecting a few more dead leaves on these, but yep, all good. Now this one is an Adromyscus as well. It's a very funky looking thing, but yeah, it's looking okay, which is surprising. Okay, let's have a look at some other ones. Right, so here's a good variety of all sorts of different plants. I'm going to go through a few trays. There's a mix of plants that are rooted in quite well, and some are freshly planted, just like these guys here. They're just starting to grow. So let's have a look. Okay, so aphids. Yep, there'll be quite a few plants here, I reckon, that will have aphids, unfortunately. These guys are pretty consistent with the damage. This guy's not looking too bad, but I'm sure that something will come up. Okay, these guys again. Otherwise, cubic frost is doing well. All of these guys, Hercules. Now this is due to the rain, split leaves, so that's not great. Okay, let's have a look through these. So I've just freshly planted these. They are looking okay. This has been damaged by aphids earlier this month, so this is why they're not looking all that great, but they will grow out of it. They grow so fast, look at them. Okay, let's move further. So here Frosty is not liking the rain. I know that these guys don't like the rain. Now, okay, so these are just freshly planted, so I'll just skip over to these here. So Crassula usually does quite well. Graptopetalum paraguayans, I've never really had problems with these. Here's some bluebirds, they are doing fine. Now these here are doing fine as well. This is a topsy-turvy, looking good. Hercules, Benbardis. Okay, now here's some more. Now these guys, it's a Sedaveria, I forget the full name, but again, some split leaves. They're not too keen on the rain by the looks of it. Here is the lovely rose. Now I'm surprised that this fantastic fountain is looking okay, because I've had a lot of them go bad after rain. So we've got some marks. This is fungus, but yeah, not too bad. I'm quite surprised. Okay, let's move over here. So these are also freshly planted. And these guys, there's a little sedum that's looking very nice. The sedum, that's Debbie, Graptoveria Debbie. This guy has collapsed a few weeks ago. I'm not quite sure why, but you can see the little leaves growing. Afterglow, these always get eaten by either aphids or mealybugs, so I don't really have high hopes for them, but we shall see. Might surprise me. Okay, this always gets spots. Always. I've never had one not get spots from the rain, and I'm also not going to grow these anymore. So when I get rid of these, I think I'll just put them in the garden and yeah, won't be propagating them further. Sempervivum, they don't mind the rain too much. They always pull through. I don't think I've had a Sempervivum die from rain before. These guys here, they're looking okay. Now this one, that's Echeveria mensa, also not looking amazing, but yeah, this is because of the rain, unfortunately. You've got some more Sempervivum. Yeah, they're looking fine. These guys are looking good. A little Crassula here. These are freshly planted, so they're still quite small. Here's a Rubin. I was expecting a little more damage on the leaves, but it's just a bit of edema, but nothing too bad. It's looking all right. Here is Cotyledon pendens. It's looking fine. Now Lola, this is Swan Lake. Now these guys again, yep, damage. This is Xenocrassula, I think it's pronounced. That one doesn't seem to mind. Here's a nice big blue metal. Yep, again, damage. These guys, sometimes I see the same cultivar where a lot of them are okay, but then one or two will have damage. I am not quite sure why this happens. It might be a mutation, or I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this is Echeveria chihuahuensis. I've got loads of them growing for my wholesale customers, and they usually do okay in the rain, but this one's not looking very good. But I don't think it will die. I think it will pull through. Okay, here's a little Kalanchoe. Here's the bloody little ant spreading aphids, so I've gotta fix that today. Okay, here's Lola again, Bloody Maria with edema. Lots of little Echeveria elegans, they're doing fine. Now these guys have gone absolutely crazy. Look how big they are. Pinwheel Revolution, this is Sedum clavatum. These are Graptosedums, Graptoverias, I think. These are little Echeverias, they're doing fine. Not quite sure what this is, but this always likes to rain. It's just growing a lot of little pups. And yes, we've got some little cacti here. They're freshly planted but already have some roots. And yeah, what else have we got? I didn't plant this very long ago, but the chain of hearts does not, in my experience, mind the rain. And then we've got these guys, sedums. Yeah, they are all looking good. These are from leaf. These are grown from leaf. Little sedum organium. And yeah, they are also all good. Okay, and the last thing I'll be showing you is the shade house plant. So there's a 50% shade cloth over this. So because the plants here prefer shade over the sun and just grow better. They can grow in the sun, they would just look brown and some can burn. So you can see these guys, that is beautiful and big, that survived the rain quite well. Pretty much all of these guys have. They, in my experience, they don't really mind the rain as much. These are freshly planted, but they are doing okay. They are looking pretty good. Peperomia here. I love this variegated Haworthia. It's just very pretty. Some of these are almost albino. So this is due to mealybugs. It's not because of the rain. This little thing, it's Haworthia or aloe. I can't really remember, but it's really cute. Love the little fur. These Ripsalis, they love the rain. They are rainforest plants and they will never, I don't think I've ever had one die because of the rain. Yep, and yeah, they're all just doing pretty well. Even the Senecio here. So these are quite young, but they are rooted and you can see them. They've got little baby leaves growing. Some are even flowering. So yeah, they are all looking pretty well. The only plant that doesn't really like the rain is this Casteria, variegated Casteria. It gets these black leaves. I think it's fungus. And yeah, it's not going to die, but yeah, that's not looking too good. So I'll have to treat that with fungicides. All of these are going good. This albino one doesn't mind. And this one, I think this would probably be could be because of the rain. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so there's some more here. Yeah, so these guys never had problems with them in the rain. Do have some mushrooms starting to grow, but that is fine. I see this Peperomia did not like the rain though, so that's a cutting that I planted not very long ago, and that I think is going to die. But yeah, otherwise it's not looking too bad. I'm quite happy. It was a lot of rain, and the majority, I would say the great majority of plants are doing quite well, so that's good. Now, I'm not saying to not be cautious. It's best for succulents to be dry, but I think people do worry a little bit too much about the rain, and I think most of the time if you've got good potting mix and if they are exposed to enough sun afterwards, then they will for the most part be okay. So yeah, you don't have to worry that much. If you can keep them dry, do that. It's the best thing for them, but also do not panic if you cut them outside and it's raining and you're at work. They will be fine. They should be fine. Most of them should be fine. So yeah, I hope this video was useful, and if you would like to add anything or share your own experience, you're more than welcome to do so in the comments. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.